Appeals issued a stay of your execution for Wednesday.
That is the moment Melissa Lucio found out she would not be put to death today. The mother of 14 children was convicted of killing her 2-year-old daughter, Mariah, 15 years ago. A ruling by the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals delays Lucio's execution this morning. We look at what comes next in this case.
And we've reported that Melissa Lucio would have been the first Latina executed by the state of Texas. But there's also the case of Josefa Rodriguez, also known as Chapita, who was reportedly executed in the 1860s in San Patricio County. We're going in depth into both cases. We'll discuss the history of the Texas death penalty and what's next for Lucio. KRIS 6 News Sunrise starts right now.
This is KRIS 6 News Sunrise.
Good morning and buenos dias, Coastal Bend, and welcome to the second hour of Sunrise as we kick things off again on this Wednesday morning. I'm Paulo Salazar.
I'm Sierra Pizarro. Paulo, you know the family and friends of Melissa Lucio are breathing a big sigh of relief this morning.
Execution granted. Yes, yes, yes.
Shock, hugs, and tears from Lucio's family down in Harlingen after they heard about her stay of execution.
Now, after 15 years on death row, Lucio will live to see another day. Mondays, when the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals granted that stay. Now, Lucio was convicted of capital murder in 2008 for killing her 2-year-old daughter, Mariah Alvarez, in 2007. Her family and supporters feel she was wrongly convicted.
A petition with at least 65,000 signatures was delivered to the Cameron County District Attorney's Office in Brownsville Friday. Petitions were also taken to the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles and to Governor Greg Abbott in Austin Monday.
This is years in the making. Supporters have long pushed for Lucio's scheduled execution to be halted. This case now has the nation's attention, catching the interest of celebrities like Kim Kardashian.
Here's what happens now. A Cameron County court will host a new hearing and look at new evidence. According to the Death Penalty Information Center, Lucio submitted court statements from forensic experts that Mariah, her daughter, had a medical condition which caused her to be an unsteady walker and died after falling down the stairs at their home. Lucio also presented evidence that abusive police interrogation is what forced her to falsely say she caused Mariah's death.
Now, Lucio was set to be put to death by lethal injection this evening had her execution not been temporarily suspended. She would be taken there to this chamber. This is in the Huntsville unit. Lucio would have been strapped down on that gurney and injected with a drug called phenobarbital. Now, according to the National Library of Medicine, this drug mainly affects the nervous system. At low doses, it works more like a sedative. At higher doses, it causes a coma.
Well, myth or fact, Lucio would have been labeled as the first Latina executed in Texas. But after our recent reporting of her case, we got a call into the newsroom from a viewer telling us about a woman named Chapita. Some consider her story a legend. And our Sunrise reporter Victoria Valderrama is live in San Patricio County, where local history there marks Chapita as the first Hispanic woman executed in our state. Victoria, good morning. What have you discovered?
Good morning. So let me play historian for a little bit. I'm going to give you some dates. The town of San Patricio was created in 1839. This building that you see behind me, this is a replica of what would have been the county courthouse. The original building burned down in 1889. But this right here, this is what we want to talk about. This marker has been here since 2008, but it talks about the story of a woman who lived in the 1800s, Josefa Rodriguez, also known as Chapita, but people in the Coastal Bend, they know her as a legend.
The reason that we know about this is that she proclaimed her innocence from the minute that she was accused all the way until her execution. Her last words are reportedly, I'm not guilty.
The marker names Josefa Rodriguez, who was hanged in 1863 for the murder of John Savage, though the trial's fairness was questioned because some members of the jury, quote, had problematic personal histories. 159 years later, as the execution date for Melissa Lucio approached, I went out to learn more. So to clear this up, I spoke to Beatriz Alvarado. She's a professor of psychology and chair of the social sciences department at Del Mar College. She explains why technically Lucio would have been the first Hispanic woman to be executed by the state of Texas.
Starting in 1923 is when the state of Texas started doing executions. Prior to that, every county was responsible for their own executions. And that's why there isn't necessarily a historical sense that the state of Texas was responsible for Ms. Rodriguez.
Will continue to be known as a legend. There's even been a book written about her, and officially Alvarado confirms because the execution happened locally, it's going to be in the historical memory of the region rather than it being recorded statewide, and that's exactly why we see this here.
Chipita's story is so significant. A former A&M Corpus Christi professor even made it an opera about it. His name is Lawrence Weiner. The drama was first performed in Corpus Christi in 1982. Weiner composed over 150 pieces during his career. And according to womenintexas.org, many articles, books, and operas were made about the hanging of Chipita.
And according to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, hanging was a means of execution from 1819 to 1923.
Then the state moved to the electric chair. Those executions were done in Huntsville.
And in 1972, the Supreme Court declared all executions unconstitutional, and they were stopped. The practice was reinstated in 1976 after challenges from some states, including Texas. In 77, Texas moved to lethal injection as its means of execution.
And Texas is leading the nation in the number of executions. Also, California, Florida, Texas, and Alabama have the largest death row populations.
Sunrise reporter Victoria Valderrama is joining us now live from San Patricio County, where Chipita's memorial stands. Victoria, good morning. What did you find out about the history of women executed in Texas?
Paulo, I had to do a little bit of digging for this story. I talked to the experts. I even drove out here to San Patricio earlier this week to learn more about Chipita's story. She was sentenced to death in 1863. And behind me, you see a replica of the county courthouse that burned down in 1883. So this leads me to believe that Chipita's records, they were lost in this fire. But people in the coastal bend know her story. She was accused of murder, executed in 1863 for the murder of John Savage, though the trial's fairness was questioned because of, quote, jurors' problematic personal histories. Associate Professor of Psychology at Del Mar College, she says the state of Texas has executed around 580 people. Of those, 9 are women. And they only started recording the number of executions until after 1923.
But between 1923 and 1972, there were 3. And then since 1984 to 2014, there have been 6.
Prior to 1923, hanging was a means of execution. Starting in the late 1890s, that's when the electric chair was thought to be a more humane way to carry out executions. Now, lethal injections has been adopted. So as we look at the number of people executed after 1923, this would mean Melissa Lucio is the first Hispanic woman to be executed by the state of Texas, while Chipita, she was sentenced to death by the county. And if you'd like to learn more about Chipita's story, that's right here in San Patricio. They have her marker right here, marker 4201, so you can visit San Patricio.
Dr. James Plank, he's a criminal justice professor at Texas A&M Kingsville.
Hello, good morning. Joining us live this morning to talk about what happens next. Dr. Plank, thanks so much for waking up with us. Let's go ahead and dive in. Melissa Lucio's execution is on pause, so what now?
Well, right now, the Court of Criminal Appeals has asked the original district court that convicted Melissa Lucio to rehear the case to determine some specific factors. Number one, there was in the original trial a expert witness from the defense that was not allowed to testify in the original trial, who had questions about her interrogation, specifically that she was a survivor of domestic abuse with PTSD and sexual assault, and was likely to give a false confession under certain circumstances, under a long interrogation in a room where she wasn't given proper counsel. And so these things are being asked to be reviewed by the district court to determine what recommendations should be made. Should there be a new trial? Ultimately, the Court of Criminal Appeals will make that decision on whether or not a new trial will need to be taken.
And Dr. Plink, how unique or rare is Lucio's current situation, these stays of execution?
Very rare. Less than 10% of death row inmates ever receive a stay of execution. So that in and of itself is rare. What's also interesting in this case is that it's garnered support from several state politicians, both in the Texas Senate and the House of Representatives, on both sides of the political aisle. Many members of the state government have spoken out on this case, saying that there's some things that need to be looked at.